So, quick question. What happens when you have a team that runs only in the Xfinity Series, only focuses on the restrictor plate races, and decides to go full-time in the Cup Series? Well, you don't need to think about that question too hard because we do have the perfect example for that, and that is R3 Motorsports. R3 Motorsports was a team that ran down the Xfinity Series between the late 2000s and early 2010s. Their owner was Robert Richardson Sr., and the main driver for the team was Robert Richardson Jr. In the 7-year span that they were down the Xfinity Series, the team was only able to collect 2 top 10s in their entire existence. However, they still believed that was good enough to try to run full-time in the Cup Series. They would lease a car from Earnhardt Ganassi Racing, and they would try to attempt a few races before they went full-time. Their first attempt would be in 2009 in the Great American Race with Mike Skinner behind the wheel. The team obviously did not have that much speed and they failed to qualify. Then nearly 20 months later, they would finally attempt another race in the Cup Series, this time being the Charlotte race in October of the 2010 season. They would have Johnny Sauter try to attempt the race, but once again, same result from 20 months ago, they failed to qualify. The next time they would attempt would be a few weeks later at Texas Motor Speedway with Josh Wise behind the wheel, but once again it was the same result, they were not able to qualify. In the 2011 season, they decided to focus mostly on their Xfinity Series program, but they did attempt one race at Phoenix with Scott Riggs behind the wheel, and you guessed it, they were not able to qualify. Then in the 2012 season, they decided to make the big announcement that they were going to be running full-time in the 2012 season, only missing the races at Sonoma and Watkins Glen. They would have Robert Richardson Jr. run the restrictor plate races, more specifically Daytona and Talladega, and then have Scott Riggs run the remainder part of the season. And boy, let me tell you, it was kind of a disaster. Robert Richardson Jr. would fail to make the Daytona 500 as well as the Daytona race in July. However, he was still able to make the races in Talladega, both of them ending in a DNF. He wrecked both times, unfortunately. Scott Riggs' statistics were not that much better, to be honest with you. In the 30 races that he attempted with the number 23 team, he would be only able to make 22 races, meaning he did not qualify for 8 of them. But the craziest thing was he would never run more than 80 laps in any race that he made. The team was known as the Start and Park team, and the most laps they ever ran was 78 laps at a Richmond race. Brake issues, suspension issues, rear gear issues, all of that was an issue for the team. When it was all said and done, the team was only able to run 873 laps, which sounds like a lot, but when you spread that out into 22 races, you're barely getting more than 40 laps. Not only that, they never saw the checkered flag once, even though they made 22 races. With a total of 12 DNQs, 22 DNFs, and a best finish at 31st, this team will unfortunately go down as one of the worst ever Cup teams to run in NASCAR.